So, ladies and gentlemen, after traveling about 65 kilometers, the narrow roads, adventurous rides, and keeping the heart in my mouth in the whole journey, because I was not very used to such kind of roads, even though I live in Himachal. And so, finally, we are in the Chhatrari village, and this village is very famous for the Shakti Devi temple, and around it, village also a lot of mountains. And there are not a lot of places or villages as compared to Chhatrari here. Like you can see right in front of me, there is a village which has only 2 or 3 homes in right in front of me. So we are going towards the temple, to Shakti Devi temple, and the one thing I noticed about this village is the the houses are very developed as compared to other villages in Chamba, even though it is at the 6,000 feet from the sea level. And there are some old homes like this one, which is made up of the wood and the clay. And there are also very old homes like this one right in front of me. It appears like it was centuries ago. And finally, this is the temple where we are going to, Chhatrari temple of Shakti Devi. And if we talk about the history about this temple or the village also, this village is very isolated as compared to the other villages in these mountains. And it is the month of April, but still there are very cold temperature, and the wind is blowing all around, like the winter season in the other urban states of India. And this temple was built by the king Meru Varman about 8 centuries ago, about the 8th century. So this village is very old, and that's why the people are more attracted to come here. But at this time, due to the lockdown, the people are not coming here because it's of the reason of the height, also the another reason. And it is completely made up of wood and also clay, and it was made by the craftsman Guga, named as Guga, which was 4 feet and 6 inch tall, and it was made by completely made by the Ashtadhatu, the murti, and it was made in the Dravidian style architecture of this temple. I don't know much about this architecture, but it was very old, and it is acknowledged by the Archaeological Survey of India. And so coming up to the history, it is believed that this village was built even before the main city of Chamba, which was built in 1920 by the king Sahil Varman. And it was the main route to go to the Bharmor from Chamba at that time. And since this temple is made by the Guga, and it is completely made by, he has only one hand. I tell you, his one hand was cut down by the king, and still this temple is very beautiful, and it was very old, as you can see. And it was not changed because the government of India has not allowed, and it has kept as a the antique structure to make the impact on the people, or tell the people about the history about the village. It has very interesting history, like it is believed that this village does not have water about the 8th centuries in the 8th centuries, and that the saints used to do meditation. Saints, I mean the Rishi Munis, and their students also came here to study and do the meditation with their teachers or the saints. So what happened one day, that the sent his student to bring water for him, which was about 2.5 kilometers from this village. At that time it was a jungle, but his student never returned. So the saint was very angry about the student that he has not come. So he also tried to find him, and in the jungle he found that he was killed by a bear. And when as soon as he found that he was killed by a bear, he was very angry. And so since the water since there's no water resources, and he found that um, because there is no water and that killed his student, so he took his trishula and stuck in the mountain here 36 times. And there are 30 after that there are 36 water resources in this village, and that is why it is called Chhatrari. Chhatrari, it came from the number 36, from Hindi word 36. That's why it is called Chhatrari. And after that the Shakti Devi temple was built by the Goga, which was told by the king, or and that is why it is called it was very famous, because it was very old, and it is the uh, oldest temple built in the Chamba here. And it was famous because it is believed that there are a lot of Rakshasas used to live here in the village. It is completely sound like a mythological, but there are also some masks are also in the temple of Rakshasas that has kept by the government of India to for the historical relevance for the people who came here. So yeah, this is the short story of this village. Hope you enjoyed it, and our trip ends here. With this Shubham signing out until we meet again.